Hello, Lon. Hey, Jacqueline. Just setting up my view. Happy Friday. I thought today we'll do heart openers in the yin fashion. Hello, Brenda. Well, today, have whatever you like in the prop world, because I always say more is better when it comes to this. And play with the poses. I'm just, again, always ecstatic to be on the mat with people as opposed to by myself. And you might hear in the background, my cat is on the other side of two doors, and for some reason he always wants to let me know that he's there. So you might hear some little tiny scratching, but it's Stuart. But once you make your way in, just get comfortable on the mat. Find a comfortable seat. We will start in that comfortable seat today. I was listening to NPR, and a gentleman talking to the commentary at that time was just talking how Rumi, the poet Rumi, speaks to him so much during this time. So throughout the class, I have found parts of poems by Rumi that spoke to me, and maybe that will speak to you while we're in certain poses today. So we'll get a little Rumi along the way. I always like to remind you as you're practicing, you want to bring that energy into the connective tissue, but I don't want you to ever feel like you have to push beyond that. So if a pose starts to feel not right, and you'll know, listen to your intuitive self, because you'll know, just gently back out of the pose. Take a breath or two. Maybe by shifting your body weight a little bit wherever you are, can change that up. So each of the poses are like a whole poem in themselves, because you go in and it takes a few breaths to get settled, and then everything starts to develop from there. So take each of the poses today as part of a poem or the whole expression of a poem. So something to play with. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated place. And we will focus on all of the yin poses, opening heart, side body, bringing that awareness to the fullness of the body. So closing the eyes if you're comfortable. Take a moment to scan your body. Notice any spots that might feel tight, uncomfortable, not very available. And see through each of your breaths, maybe even some subtleness of movement, you can begin to release that spot or the many spots, depending. So the breath becomes the nourishment, the hydration to release. And to restore. So staying attuned with that breath, let's bring some awareness into the neck. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, gently let the chin drop towards the chest. And then we're going to inhale over towards that left shoulder. Exhale back to center. Let's keep it to the left. Inhale over gently to the left. Exhale back to center. Head is nice and relaxed here. 2 more times. Inhale over towards that left shoulder. Exhale back to center. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Now keeping the head nice and relaxed, the spine is long. Inhale over towards your right shoulder. Exhale back to center. Inhale over towards that right. Might notice the left shoulder wanting to creep up. Exhale back to center. 2 more times. Inhale over towards that right. Exhale back to center. Last time. And then as you take your next inhalation, we'll float the head back up to center. Let's notice both sides. Good. And let's get those shoulders. Just make some big circles. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. One more this direction. Forward, up, back, down. Chest is nice and open. Now we're going to reverse that. So go back, up to the ears, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. Try 2 more of those. Just notice if there's any spots that might feel sticky. And then again, just lubricating those little spots. That's it. And then when you make it all the way up, just release it. Let that go. Beautiful. Placing the hands on your shins. We're going to get some cat-cow motion here. So inhale the chest forward. You'll notice you're rocking on your sits bones. Exhale, round. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, round. Just a few more. You can Connecting that breath with that gentle quality of movement. One more time. And then coming back to center. Pause. Good. Let's come to the all fours, and we'll shift our awareness to finding balance, and we'll do our cat-cows, bringing a little more energy into that realm. So again, you can keep your blanket under your knees if you need that for support. Hands spread, knees under the hips, moving with that breath. Inhale as you move your heart forward. As you exhale, contract and really over-accentuate that rounded quality. Moving with that breath, strong arms, we press the earth away. Letting that spine wake up. Exhaling, draw from that center, pressing up. So connecting all these little pieces to create the whole is what yoga helps us do. And then one more time. Now as you exhale in this position, really focus on belly button draws to spine, chin can draw to the chest, tailbone can very gently draw under. Breathe right here between the shoulder blades. Pressing the ground away from you, so very active arms. Feel the fingertips, the mounds of the fingers. One more deep, full, rich breath in and out. And then find a stable position right here. And check your alignment here. So just bringing a little energy into the body before we go into our first pose. We'll do a few bird dogs. So as you take the right leg, float the foot up as you float the left arm. Take a breath here, pulling that belly button to spine. And then as you exhale, release and shift. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, find ground. Finding that strength and length here. The neck stays neutral, so you don't have to look up or drop your head. Just, again, keeping that chin level with your chest. Your gaze can be right on the mat. You could flex your foot one time through, toes pointing to the ground. That's a little more strength. Or you can point the toes to lengthen. So allowing that breath and movement. Let's try 4 more. That's it. Extending. Each one you grow a little bit more. Last one. Beautiful. Barrel rolls. So I'm going to come up for a moment. When you are in that all fours, you want to envision that you're bringing energy into the whole rib cage. So it's going to feel like you're bringing your torso around a big, huge barrel. Okay? I call it barrel breathing. So finding this position, very gently, start to imagine you're taking your rib cage and trying to touch the inside part of a big barrel. So it's an isolation move. Creating that movement and space so we can breathe deeper and fuller and richer. And wherever you are, reverse the barrel the other way. That's it. And then we'll come back to center. We'll very briefly send your hips back. Transition to one side. And our first pose that we're going to work on, again, emphasizing a little release of hips, but is our butterfly pose. So this is where you have options. You can go deep into this, having the feet close to your body, coming forward. You may make it more gentle. So I want you to find what works for you. Allowing the body to surrender down here. The head can always be supported by a block, the bolster. But going into those very slow, rhythmic breaths. And I will share one poem by, really just a line from one of many of Rumi's poems. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. So I invite you right now for the next few moments to find those places of silence where much happens. Allowing that breath to guide you. Softening the edges. Breathing into all four sides of your body. And you could even repeat that to yourself. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. Now you might find as you're in here, you might be able to go a little deeper this last minute. So again, honor the body. Ahimsa. We don't want to harm ourselves or others. Breathe. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. Just notice that the shoulders want to creep forward, so you can draw them down. Breathe into the back body. Take one more breath here. And then take your time to stack your vertebrae back up. Maybe take those legs and just shake them out in front of you. Relax your feet. So our next pose is called the deer pose, which is a variation of the poor man. I call it the poor man's swan or pigeon pose. But it brings in that energy again of the hip and the heart. So the right foot will be forward and the left leg will be behind. Now, I'm going to demonstrate because I do have funny cranky hips. I'm going to use a blanket to keep my sits bones somewhat level. My right foot is very close to that left groin area. Again, modify if this feels not right for your left knee. We're going to take it like if we were going on a sundial. So I'm actually going to start over my right knee and work in towards the left side. So I'm going to bring our little timer into it. So take your moments, set your body, find those inner silences, and we'll start to allow the body to drape over the right knee. Again, go deep within, feel the breath. The art of letting go. We don't want to hold any tension. We want to be able to release the tension so our bodies are available for life and fullness. Now we can start to inch our way maybe more towards the shin, yes? So here we are at the shin area. And your body begins to feel this melting. So you might be able to melt deeper into this or not. Support with a bolster or a block if needed. Find those little pockets. If you find you hold a lot of tension in other areas like the neck, even just a gentle rocking side to side. See if you can soften and then maybe allowing the head to relax. The neck. And then maybe explore coming a little more towards that left side body or left side. The last part of our stretch here, so I'm going to have you walk your hands back. And on this one, we're going to plant the left hand down by that left shin, open through the right side body, and this last minute to see what it feels like to open up and really reach through this right side. You can take your gaze up, down. You can even do some lovely movements for the head and neck. Notice if you're holding tension maybe in your jaw. Just check in. Create that space. Because then we can go deeper when we can be calm in these poses. Take another round of breath here, full inhalation, complete exhalation, and then coming back up, pause right here, release those shoulders. We'll shake out those legs in front before we do the other side, just bounce them out. A windshield wiper might feel really nice right now, just taking those legs side to side. And then the whole other side, which will be, it's always interesting how you can have the same body and two sides just don't seem to be alike. So now preparing for the other side. So I'm going to take my left foot forward, bring that left foot close to the right groin. Protect your knee if you have any discomfort here. The way your foot is depends really on your ankle flexibility. There's no tension. And we'll take the same thing. We'll start and work our way over towards this side. So we're going to start over towards that left knee, pressing the right hip down, and surrender and breathe. Give maybe you can bring that energy right into this region between the shoulder blades. That expansive, all four parts breathing. So you're breathing through all four sides of your body. The acronym CALM, C-A-L-M. So we let the chest soften, the arms to relax, the legs to let go, and the mind to be okay. And then taking that little subtle motion of maybe shifting a little more into the shin region. Soften, surrender, deepen. Feel that breath come in. Notice the breath as it goes out, like a wave. And then slowly walk it over so that your body is now coming over towards that right knee. Those subtle little motions. You don't want to ever move abruptly. Now as we come up slow and easy, we'll prepare for the left side body to get a stretch. So the right hand will connect to the ground. Inhale and let this left arm start to move towards in that direction. And then again, explore here for the last minute. Just notice. Breathe deeply. Soften. More breaths right here. Fill your body. Watch it come in. Feel it come in. Watch it go out. Feel it go out. The meditation of the breath. And then as you're ready to come up nice and slow, pause. We're going to shift back over onto the all fours position. I'm going to have you come into downward dog again. So maybe you can take that position, stretching out, tucking your toes, and lifting. So really, I think this is really the first dog we've experienced today with me. Now, notice the dynamic energy of pressing your hands into the mat, almost like you're trying to lock in the mounds of the fingers into the mat with a very lightness of the heel of the hand. And then drawing the energy up the arms, so they're very active. Opening through the armpits. So the armpits are actually trying to draw towards each other. And then the side body, create space on both sides. Now, everybody's hamstrings and back are not the same. So please, please, please honor that. It's okay. Have the knees bent. You're still lengthening your spine. It's all good. Maybe slowly pedal. Slowly is the optimal word in yin. We don't need to go too fast. Just notice how the backs of the legs feel. Notice again the neck. It might want to assist you. Just let it go. Take maybe 1 or 2 breaths in your expression of down dog. A wonderful one for the nervous system. And then right here, we'll come back onto the knees. We're going to prepare for our puppy pose, or it's called heart melting pose in the yin. Now I want you to modify if you need to. In this position, the arms are very active, just like they are in downward dog. The knees are underneath the hips. I want to draw the belly button to spine to protect that low back. And you may have your forehead on the ground or your chin. Now, this is where everybody's different depending on the shoulders. So if this is too much for your shoulders and you need to dilute it by any means, please do. If it's too much on your knees, by all means, just go ahead and take it more into an extended child's pose. Yes? And let your heart melt. So find the best place for you. And go back to that lovely thought of Rumi. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. So finding those spots, those breaths. Allowing or envisioning, maybe the heart, that part of the body is just not as available right now. It's okay. Be where you are. Let the breath come in and out. Just envision that somebody's got your hip bones and they're just gently drawing your hips back to lengthen and create that space if that's there for you. Notice your shoulders if there's a lot of tightness. You might notice, you might have the forehead down and all of a sudden the body's surrendering enough that you can get the chin. So, all good. Let's take 5 more breaths right here in this heart melting pose. Fill both sides of the body with that breath so you've equal opportunity. Now when you're ready to come up, slowly bring it up. And let's, again, maybe do those barrel motions. So allow the rib cage, the shoulders, just let it all go. Both directions. You cat-cows might feel real good right here. Another downward dog might feel really good right here. Beautiful. we're going to slither on to the belly. And I want you to take 5 breaths before we come into Sphinx pose. So allow your whole body to melt onto the mat. So in this position, you could take your arms by the side of your body and turn your head one way. Just allow yourself to imagine you're leaving an imprint right here. Soften the low back, the legs. Breathe into your belly, your chest, all the way up to the collarbones. Hold, and then exhale everything out, and maybe hold at the bottom of the exhalation. On your next inhalation, you could turn your head, releasing the neck the other way. And then we'll prepare for our next pose. So in the Sphinx pose, you do want to envision that that belly button is supporting that spine, and the legs are relaxed here. The elbows are around the shoulder, about the distance, and also under the shoulders. And the key is to draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Because a lot of times what will happen, and I catch myself rolling the shoulder heads forward. So imagine trying to draw the shoulder blades together, belly button to spine. If you find that you're collapsing a lot here and you need that added support, you could take your blanket, or you can use a bolster and place it right under your belly and let your belly relax here. So you're getting the stretch, but it's more of a gentle restorative than it is a yin. But that is okay if this guides you to open up through your chest and bring that energy into the thoracic spine. So be where it's right for you, and we'll stay for about another 2 minutes. So find that happy spot where you can let your heart shine. Because a lot of times we close off and we don't allow ourselves to completely express ourselves the way our true nature is meant to be. So finding that true expression of who you are. Notice as you come into this, how the body will be more available as you soften into it and breathe into it. So let your light shine. If you notice the neck is tight, you can inhale left, turn, exhale to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Keeping that chin still lined up so it doesn't feel like you're lifting it up too high or too low. See where you can see. One more each direction. As you come back to center. Let's soften. Find Advasana again. Breathe into that body, especially that back body, because your heart was open, but the back body had to help. It's a give and take. And then change directions with your head. Breathe into the belly, the chest, the collarbones. Hold. Exhale. Hold. One more time. We are going to play with our half frog to our full expression of downward facing frog. It's a great hip opener. So, in this position, I'm going to take the right leg to the side and allow the body to relax here. So you can envision this angle. Now, not everybody might have this opening. So if you need to bring it more like a little tree pose, that is okay, with a foot closer to the calf, so there's not too much strain in the hip. Again, we're bringing that energy into this connective tissue. So I want you to find the best place for you. And we'll be on this side for about 30 seconds, and then we'll switch, and then we'll go into the full expression in modified versions too. So let your body melt into this little shape. And then we're going to switch. So take the right leg, extend it. Maybe turn your head to the left. Take the left leg in whatever expression is best for you. No strain in back. It's allowing the body to relax here. And breathe, breathe, breathe. So now we're leaving an imprint. Our heart will actually press right into the mat because we are so connected to that spot. Softening the right foot, top of right foot. Now we're going to play, now this is the optimal word. Take the left leg back down, gently press up. If you would like to experience this expression of the whole thing, again, this can get pretty deep, so I want you to listen. If you have to come into a modified child's pose, that's fine. The feet are actually flexed out, almost like a little frog that unfortunately has not had a good outcome with a car. Now, you might not need that bolster, but I'm going to show you with both. So I want to find this place where I can keep my hip, the thigh bone, and the knee in the hip. So belly button has to draw to spine to protect. So I allow to weight in my forearms, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Now you could make it a little softer and let the bolster just hold you. So that way it becomes a little more passive, but you're still getting the beautiful benefit of that stretch. So we'll stay here for a 30-second moment. Finding that place. This can get a little more mind because of the intensity it can get into. So allow that breath to help you through it. That belly button to spine to protect. Releasing those inner legs. Breathing into the heart center. See if you can take a few more breaths here. when you are ready to release that, take your time. Remove our little bolster. Let's all take a child's pose, and we'll stay there for a few moments, lengthening the arms out in front of you. So it could be wide, it can be narrow. So let your body lengthen out. Surrender. Breathe deep. Exhale fully. Create that space on both sides, symmetry. Two more breaths here. Vision. You're just breathing the whole way from that tailbone to your top of head. And then letting it all go. And then gently walking your hands back towards your knees. Roll your body up. Release the shoulders. And we are going to shift the body onto the sits bones. I'm going to play with shoelace. Now, I did not bring this up in the beginning, so I apologize. But if you do have a strap, you may use it. You don't even have to use it. But we're going to add a little bit of a shoulder stretch. So it's there. I forgot to bring that up to you. So, starting with a modified shoelace, if you like. The left leg can be extended with the right leg on top. If the hips are available, you could use your blanket. You can take that left leg underneath, stacking the legs. So, if this gets too much on your left leg, by all means, just go ahead and straighten it out. By having that blanket underneath, you can keep those sits bones level. Now, for the first part, just going to let the body, you can place the hands in front of you. Surrender and breathe. Now, everybody's surrender might be different. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's here. Some people might have their head to their knee. Doesn't matter. Find your spot. Take a few of those long breaths. See if you can soften into the pose. And let yourself be drawn by the stronger pull of that which you truly love. That's another quote from Rumi. Let yourself be drawn by the stronger pull of that which you truly love. With each of those exhalations, maybe the heart can start to melt in that direction, still creating the space along the side body. Now we can stay here, or you could add a little bit of a shoulder stretch with this. Now again, if you don't have the strap and your shoulders are tight, by all means, it's okay. But if you would like to add that, the left arm will be on top. I'm just going to pat myself on the back here, so you got that tricep. If you like to use the strap could be in the left hand, and the right hand could just pull down on it so the right shoulder is relaxed, working your way to bringing your hands to meet. Yes? Now what will happen is the rib cage is going to want to splay out. So we're going to draw those ribs in, and then as you exhale, surrender over and breathe. So that can get pretty intense. And if your hands don't connect, it's okay. It's okay to hold on to the back of your shirt. Breathe deeply where your hands are resting on the back. See if you can breathe energy into that back body. Now again, if it gets too much, you always can dilute it. That's a beautiful thing. Let's take about 5 more of those beautiful, deep, rich, life-enriching breaths. Now when you're ready to come up, take it slow. Slowly come back up. Release if you have the bind. Release the shoulders, the neck, the hands. Take the hands behind, shake out those legs. A few windshield wipers. We'll prepare for the other side. So on this one, of course, the left leg is on top. You may have the right leg extended or bent. Yeah, again, here we go. Side A, side B. One's going to feel yummy and one's going to feel like, oh no. And then supporting the hands. So you're actually shifting your torso forward, sits bones down. Take your time to test the waters on this side. Let yourself be drawn by the stronger pull of that which you truly love. Every pose is a meditation. Now you're more than welcome to stay here. Or you can add the shoulder stretch and the tricep stretch. So since my right leg is on the bottom, my right arm will be on top. Now again, you could even stay like this and come forward if you have some problems with that left shoulder. Taking that strap in my right hand, I can have the strap down for added length, so my arm is longer. And just notice, draw those ribs towards each other, so harness that energy center, and then playing with surrendering under. So every side's going to be different. Respect it. Again, if you didn't have a strap, you could just hold on to the back of your shirt and pull down. So lots of options. Notice both sides. Take 5 more breaths right here. when you're ready to come up, slowly, slowly work your way back up. Release that. Maybe take the shoulders the opposite way you did last time. Release. That's it. I'm going to come on to the back and do a very gentle movement for the shoulders and a bit of a twist before we do our fish pose, which will be our big heart opener. So it won't be in this as long, but I do want you to feel the dynamic of almost like you're creating a painting around yourself. So as you come onto your back, pause here for a brief moment. Just let that low back release. Let the shoulders soften. Notice your breath. Now, the legs are going to be together, and we're actually rolling onto the right side body, right? Just like we do when we're going to come up. Hands are stacked. Now, I want you to envision that you're painting with your left fingers. So, let your body be nice and heavy, and let the fingertips of this left arm slowly, slowly, like you're going around a clock. Take your time. You might notice there's some spots that are going, oh, yeah, yoy. But we're opening the heart as we do this to the sky. You can take it all the way back around. So you're creating this protection, this lovely aura around you. Let it shine. We'll take one more. We'll stay over when this left hand starts to move to that left. Just notice the shoulder. We want the heart to spiral up. And breathe here. Your head could stay perfectly still, so you don't have to put any strain on the neck. You could close your eyes and notice your breath. Soft hands, soft heart. For the hands are an expression of the heart. Take one more breath right here. And release it. And then take your time to bring both knees back to center. Might give yourself a little hug here. Relax your feet. Because we have to do the other side. So as we come to the other side, right hand will be on top. And then there's that paintbrush, getting that left shoulder, somewhat underneath you so you feel a nice stretch here. Start to explore, moving around. And again, just notice how this feels. Allowing the heart to spiral open. Now the next time you're going through, that right hand is moving in that direction. We'll stay in this lovely supported little twist. Again, the head could stay centered, so allowing this right shoulder to release. The hands, low back, heart open to the heavens. Take one more breath here. And as you release, take your time to bring the knees back to center. Give yourself that little hug. Relax. Maybe even any other little motion here, a little air bicycle might feel good. Because our last pose, you can stay in that and melt right into your final relaxation, depending how gentle you go into it. So I'm going to demonstrate, and I'll let you get into that position. And then you can enjoy. You may stay there through Shavasana, or I will give you a moment to transition out of it. But you can play with blocks. This is a supported fish. To me, it's one of the best heart openers. Shoulder stretch, neck release. You can also go gentle with a bolster and place that so you have support for your head as well, so there won't be any strain on the neck. I'm going to demonstrate with the blocks. You can go in all settings. This is the beautiful thing about these blocks. So for somebody that's got a very supple back, I might go to the higher setting. My hips are down. From here, I can make a pillow, also on the high setting. Shoulders relaxed. So that was pretty deep. You place the hands at your heart. So that's going to the deep side first. You may go on the flatter side. Nothing wrong with that. Find that spot. Again, just take that scan of your body. Let the body surrender here. The eyes can close. You could even take your hands and place them at your heart. So be there. And for those that want to go more in the gentle world, which is just fine too. Actually, you could take it this way if you like. So you could let your head fall back and make your little pillow. So there's still a little opening here as well. So be where it's right for you. And I will read to you another poem from Rumi. In the light, I learn how to love. In your beauty, how to make poems. You dance inside my chest, where no one sees you. But sometimes I do. And that sight becomes this art. So enjoy letting your heart open. Feel that expression. Breathe deep. In the light, I learn how to love. In your beauty, how to make poems. You dance inside my chest where no one sees you. But sometimes I do. And that sight becomes this art. Now you can stay in that lovely fish pose longer, or you can very gently remove your props. Any little tiny motion that your body needs. And then find your resting pose, Shavasana. Stay as long as you like. So finding that final pose that serves you. Enjoy. Find that place of true surrender. Let that shape be chiseled on your mat. Scan. Let the chest be relaxed. The arms, the hands, the legs, the feet. Now with each breath, let the mind just very gently float on the wave of your breath. So I invite you to stay in this lovely shape for as long as you need. When you are ready to come out of the shape, take it slow and steady. Just allow yourself to maybe start with deepening your breath, moving the feet onto the mat so your knees are bent. Relaxing the arms, maybe a stretch over the head with the arms. Rolling to a side. And then gently guiding yourself up to a place. If you would like to come back up and sit. Bringing the hands close to the heart.